Hey everyone, Jake here for American Trucks, and in this video we're taking a look at the Raxium CXR series LED projector headlights with black housings and clear lenses fitting 2009 to 2014 F-150s. The Raxium CXRs are a great choice for the F-150 owner who is after an upgrade to the looks and lighting output on their truck. These are high quality, aggressive looking, and modern full LED lights that are going to update the front end of your truck and pack a ton of output into a really slick package. Well, it's easy to go overboard on style with a set of headlights, but the CXR series keep things a bit more subdued, and that's the thing I like most about them. The black internal housings and the simple LED structure make these look like they could have been a factory option, and it really does a lot to modernize the front end of your truck. These are also going to put out way more light than your standard halogens. So inside, you've got 3 ice cube style LED projectors here in the center. Now these are bi-LEDs, meaning that they will function as both your high and low beams, all 3 of them. LED projectors put out a crisp light and a sharp cutoff, and they have a very wide beam pattern too, so they're going to throw light a lot further down the road. And make no mistake, these are bright. They also put out a pretty cool temperature light around 5000 K, so expect these to be a bit more of a bright whitish color as opposed to the yellow of your factory halogens. Now you also get some more LEDs inside too. You've got LED turn signals down on the bottom here, and even more that function as your daytime running lights. Now these around the edges are going to illuminate a diffused white color, and then they'll switch to amber when you activate your turn signals. These give the CXRs that modern, clean look, and it really does a lot to make these now older trucks look that much more new. Plus, the turn signals are sequential, and while that doesn't really add anything functionally, I'm always a fan of that, and it's just a fun little extra. The outer housings are made from ABS plastic, which is known for its lightweight and durability, and that does make it a standard of the auto industry. Much the same is true for the lenses here, which are the industry standard polycarbonate, but they also have a UV coating over top for added protection. So these aren't going to craze cracking yellow like you would expect from some other aftermarket lights. You also get integrated heat sinks here to keep the electronics cool and running properly. Plus, every light is weather sealed to keep out dirt and moisture, so that means that these should be very durable and trouble-free for you. The CXRs are also DOT and SAE approved, meaning not only that they are fully street legal, but they also have integrated adjusters, so you can get these adjusted exactly as you need them. And I've said this with other CXR series lights, these are really nice. The material quality is something that I was very impressed with when I pulled these out of the box. And it sounds silly because headlights are typically made of the same type of stuff, that ABS plastic with polycarbonate lens over top. But really it comes down to the details, and these things are pretty darn nice. And again, I was really impressed when I pulled these out of the box. However, that does mean you're gonna have to pay to play. Pricing for the set comes in at about $1,500, and that does put them in the higher end of the segment. But these are going to give you all the output, the material quality, and the good looks you'd expect from some other big name brands, and these are just going to come in at a slightly lower price. So you're really not losing out on anything here because you're paying a little bit less and you're still getting a ton of good stuff for your money. Installation gets a 1 out of 3 on our difficulty meter, and the job should take you around 1 hour to complete. Now these are a fully plug and play operation. They come pre-wired and ready to go. You've just got to plug some stuff in, so you don't actually have to do any wiring. You're just going to have to run a few things, and again, plug a few things in. So these will take the place of your factory lights without issue, and it's going to make this a job that pretty much anyone can accomplish. So with that, let's head on out to the shop and we'll walk you through the process.
For this install, you need a ratchet, 10mm socket, needle nose pliers, diagonal cutters, and zip ties. All right, today we're gonna be installing some headlights on our F-150. First, we're gonna watch a quick video how to install stock ones, then we'll come back here to install the new ones.
First thing we need to do is remove the 2 headlight bolts at the top here, and then 1 at the side, and we're going to use our 10mm socket to do that. And with our 3 bolts removed, all we've got to do now is just grab a hold of the light and pull it straight forward. And with our headlight removed, we can go ahead and disconnect the 3 connectors on the back simply by pushing down on the release lever on each of the connectors and pulling it out.
All right, now before we can install our headlights, we just have to do a little bit of wiring. We just have to put our fuse tap into our fuse box here and then run each wire to each side of our truck. All right, now we're just gonna open up our fuse box, 2 tabs there. Fuse we're going after is F77, you can reference it on the lid here. We're gonna grab our needle nose pliers and pull our 10 amp fuse out. We're gonna put our fuse tap into place, run our wire out like so, and then close our lid. All right, now we're just gonna run the wires to either side. As you can see, we have a little bit of extra here. We're just gonna zip tie it to this harness here. It'll be able to reach the headlight here. All right, then we're gonna take our other wire and just run it all the way across and zip tie it along the way. Just make sure it doesn't touch anything hot. All right, then we're just gonna take our diagonal cutters and just cut off the excess. All right, now we just have to plug in our wiring harnesses to our headlight. First, we just have to talk about this connector on the back here. You will see one connector, 2 wires. This is for sequential turn signals. If you keep it plugged in, you will not have sequential. To have sequential, you just unplug it. All right, now we're gonna plug in all of our connectors. All right, so we're gonna start with the wire that we ran, the single pin connector. Plug that in right there. Then we have our 2-pin connector, our larger 3-pin, and then our actual headlight connector. All right, now we can put our headlight into place. Just line up the 2 tabs on the back and push straight on. All right, now we can reinstall our 3 10mm bolts. All right, so we have our 3 bolts. We're gonna thread them in. We're gonna grab our ratchet and 10mm socket and tighten them down. All right, now you go ahead and repeat the same thing for the other headlight. All right, and that wraps up our install of our Raxium CXR series LED projector headlights with a black housing and clear lens for a 2009 to 2014 F-150. And remember, for everything F-150, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.